We made it.
Kind of. We should be recording on Fridays. That's bullshit.
That's true.
Who was busy on Friday? Was it you or me?
It was me.
I think it was me too, though.
Yeah, you were. Yeah,
you
were busy too.
And all the things. Fuck. So here we are, fucking shit up again on a Monday
evening.
And we have
daylight.
We have a case of the Mondays.
We absolutely have a case.
Of the Mondays. Jesus, I feel like
I know. I feel like my posture's all.
You're okay.
I think it's because I've been watching them damn Facebook ads with the posture thing. Have you seen those?
No.
I must have looked up something about posture because now there's this contraption where you like throw it over you and you can zip it up and it goes zip and it like straightens your posture up, which is great.
That's not a bad thing.
I don't feel like I need it, but I'm wondering.
I feel like I need it sometimes.
I'm wondering now if like maybe Facebook knows that I'm hunched over.
But you know what? You look at like kids nowadays.
Oh yeah.
Because they're always on the phone. Like so many kids, especially non-athletes that aren't like playing multiple sports per season. You see like neck humps.
Yeah, and the fucking shoulder sagging.
It's like stick out your tits a little bit.
Yeah, push that chest out.
It's okay.
Straighten the spine.
Yeah. It's pretty wild though. It's pretty wild.
You're absolutely right. They all walk around looking like vultures, you know?
Yeah. Well, with like, and I always tell the boys, get your fucking chin off your chest.
Yes.
Get your chin off your chest. I'm like, that's fucking crazy. You're just straining your neck.
Yeah.
Stop it.
It's not natural movements.
No.
I had an instructor when I was in college who got into a car accident, went head first through the windshield, jammed his neck up and broke his neck. He lost 17 movements in his neck.
Jesus.
Yeah.
What's the total number of movements in your neck?
I'd be curious to look it up, but at that point in my life, I wasn't there for anatomy, and I wasn't even sure that I could lose 17 movements in my neck.
I mean, up, down, left, right.
And then all of these.
Yeah, but how do you quantify that movement?
And that's, I don't know. But they probably do, all the different, if you put it on a chart, probably every single little vertebrae in there working its way.
That's crazy. Yeah, the way everything moves.
Yeah.
Bloop, 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 bloop.
So like I think he could look up or he could look down, but side to side, like he had to do the whole thing like that.
Wild.
Yeah, crazy.
Just wild. Well, we're here on a Monday. It just fucking stormed like a motherfucker. Were you at work?
Yeah.
Did it storm?
Well, we just got a little bit of rain. I didn't even see any thunder or see any lightning or hear any thunder.
We had lightning and thunder. We had all the shit, but it was like a quick summer storm, like you're in Florida.
Yep.
The 3 o'clock storms in Florida, they hit and then they're gone.
And they're gone. Yeah.
And that's what happened. Like it came out, sun's out, and it is fucking thicker than a bowl of oatmeal out there right now. Holy fuck.
Humidity's supposed to be gone tomorrow, they say.
I'll take it.
Yeah, me too, because it's fucking like somebody threw a wet blanket right on my back. I'm just trying to walk around like, ugh.
Well, Aria has 2 fucking, she has 2 pool parties tomorrow.
Ooh, nice.
So softball party, baton party, all the shit.
Hell yeah.
But I'm like, that's great. Do the things. But then I'm also looking at my schedule like, who the fuck is going to take you? I'm going to give her one of the old sticks with the fucking bandana tied around the side.
Hell yeah.
And I'm just going to write on you. Like, please take me here. Start walking in this general direction.
Yeah.
Somebody will pick you up. They'll drop you off.
Public transportation. Just hop on. They're not going to leave a kid out.
White van, whatever. It's good.
Here. Do we take me here, please?
I got 3 other ones. We'll be fine. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. I was told that I've been requisitioned, so all 6 of us have to go to the one tomorrow evening.
Oh, okay.
All right. Hopefully they'll feed us. I mean,
I'm sure they will.
That means we probably have to take something, though. The whole potluck aspect. Ugh.
It's potlucks are 50-50. If you know the people, it's okay.
Yeah. Like when you guys come over.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
We brought crackers and cheese yesterday, but I don't think they even came out of the bag. Everybody was just fucking mowing down on fresh fruit.
Yeah. And that's, if you know each other, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know each other, church potluck, some other get-together potlucks. I'm not familiar with other people's kitchens, but I've seen some. And I've seen some clean ones. I've seen some not so clean ones.
Yeah.
Cats on the counter and
you
know what I mean? All that kind of shit. You're just not sure.
You just blow up your bathroom and then you're like, oh yeah, here, let me make this pasta salad.
Yeah. Do you wash your hands? Yeah. So listen about that. When I was doing dishing at work, I used to run into a lot of different people. Well, I'm at this person's house here locally. I think it's like somewhere over in Grand Blanc. Anyway, they were Indian.
Okay.
In traditional Indian homes, everything is white, and it was white, like white carpet, white walls, white furniture,
No
white
shit.
everything. Yeah,
That's like a thing.
that's a thing.
Okay.
So the woman there, which I
Today I
believe,
learned.
yeah, uh, the woman I believe was the grandma, and she is super nice. Like, and from the second that I get there, she shows me everything that I need to do, everything they want hooked up, and then she's like, "I'm gonna be in the kitchen making food. We're having this big event. If you need anything,
Sure.
come grab me." So she is in there, steady making food the whole time. Got some Hindu Indian music playing, and she is like all kinds of like rice and chicken and like just. I mean, just a feast, right?
Yeah.
For whoever. And she's like got her hands in it, dude. She's like hand mixing all this rice and like all of this stuff, huge bowls of stuff. And I smell it the whole time. It's all full of curry and like all, I can just smell her cooking all of it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, my mouth's watering when I'm there. I don't even like, I'm not even into Indian food, but it all smells
Sure.
delicious. So I get all done. She's super nice. Finish up, and she made me 2 giant plates. She's like, "You have wife?" And I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Yeah, I got a wife." And she's like, "I make you 2 plates." I'm like, "You don't need to make me any food." She's like, "No, no, no, I insist." I'm like, "Okay." Made me 2 giant plates of food. And I remember like got home late or whatever, and I brought home 2 giant plates of food to Kelly, and I'm like, "Hey, hear me out." I said, "This Indian woman made this food." I said, "In her kitchen." I was like, I watched her like hit it all with her hands and everything. And I'm like, but I don't care because it smells delicious. And we sat down, we ate that Indian food, and it was fantastic. And I'm like,
Awesome.
this is the best.
I'm glad that that did not end the way that I anticipated it was going to end.
Nope. It was
That's good.
excellent.
That is phenomenal.
But yeah, I used to meet people like that all the time, like all
That's
kinds of
great
people
though.
from different cultures and
Yeah.
stuff. And they would give you food or gift cards or
Yeah.
whatever. People were always super friendly because I never turned off service. I always gave them service.
Right.
So
You
they
were
were
the good
always
guy.
super friendly
You
to
were the
me.
good
Yeah,
guy.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I had a client who was from Senegal,
Oh, shit.
and we were trying to find him a house back during COVID. Didn't end up working out, but him and his wife, you know, that's traditional the way they cook food.
Mhm.
And they're like, the problem is we get a lot of complaints in our apartment because, we cook very Senegalese
Yeah.
authentic food, and it's very aroma heavy,
Fragrant.
fragrant.
Yeah.
And I get it. And
Yeah.
if you are like a rural white person, you're used to smelling McDonald's and Taco Bell.
Yeah.
There
Yeah.
isn't a lot of like spice in American food.
For sure.
Most of the palate for Americans is pretty bland for all
Very.
intents and purposes.
Yeah, very.
So he was like, we need a house, we need to have a house with a big kitchen so we can do all the things. But yeah, he made his wife multiple times. We'd show up to a showing and there's a fucking piping hot plate of food. I'm just sitting in the car after these showings, just crushing
Yes.
fucking food. And that shit, I am pouring sweat. I'm just so like, this guy does not have a developed palate, but I'm like, I'm eating this shit. It smells delicious.
Yeah.
And she handmade it and she brought it with her. I'm like, this is fucking amazing.
Yep.
But I'm like,
And it's flavorful hot.
oh yeah.
It's not
It's not just hot for the sake of being hot.
yeah, it's not like a hot chicken wing. It's like
Right.
it's like really good hearty heat.
Yeah.
It's so good.
But it would. And immediately I'm blotting my forehead and then my neck's getting all hot. And then I'm getting the full body sweats. I'm like, oh, this is so good, but I think I'm going to die. I think I'm absolutely going to die. But I mean, shit like that is amazing. And I
Yeah.
love seeing those different cultures, just the way they do things. It's just different. And I love to see that.
Yeah, me too. I've thought about that more as I got older, different cultures and how they do things and just how they live their life. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
yeah.
Day to day. It's pretty cool.
There's something to be said about, because I mean, how far away do you live now from where your childhood home was?
30 minutes.
30 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, and that's one of the problems, I think, largely with America in general. Our familial units are close and we stay close, which is fine,
Hmm.
but like you don't ever get to experience anything else,
Right.
because even the culture on the East Coast compared to the Deep South, compared to the Southwest, compared to the West Coast, and then Midwest. I
Mhm.
mean, there's a lot of differences and variations there.
Which is pretty cool to think about because
Oh,
it's the
absolutely.
United States of America. You
Yeah.
go to these other places and like the whole place is similar,
Yes.
and it's like, man, that is crazy that you're east. You know that somebody was from Jersey or New York or
Right.
Boston or up in that area,
Yep.
just by the accent of their voice,
Yes.
or if they're from deep Tennessee.
Right. Well, and it's funny too because I always laugh when people are like, "Oh, the real South is in America," but I'm like, all of our pop culture shit that we watch,
Mhm.
like everything that's on television, Netflix, what have you, with the exception of like regional shows that are specific to a regional area, and that's an important part of the story.
Mhm.
Everybody talks the way you and I talk.
Yeah.
You know, there isn't anything
Yep.
with like a deep Southern accent or like
Very
it just
true.
to me, it's like this feels normal the way that we speak because that's how I see everything from a pop culture standpoint.
Yeah. My f
Right, wrong, or indifferent. I'm not judging any which way,
Right.
but it's just like this is how I see America because, like, even if you watch the news,
Yeah.
you know, you watch politicians, you know, with the exception of like a deep South politician, most
Right.
everybody
Right.
sounds like we sound.
For sure.
Same thing with the news and shit like that. So it's interesting to me to think
S
about that
some
aspect
of
of
them
it.
other ones think that we have an accent, though. Like, my buddy from West Virginia, he
Sure.
says I have an accent. I'm like, "You're the one that says balks." Like like, and calls it the interstate, you know? Like, that's neither of those things are right.
Everything's a cola. I'm like,
Yeah,
what are you
everything.
talking about?
Or a Coke. Like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, I'll take a Coke, a
Yeah.
Sprite." Like, "What a Coke, Sprite." Like, everything's a Coke. It's just a pop, a Coke,
Right.
Sprite, Coke,
Yeah.
orange Coke.
Soda pop.
Yep.
Yeah. An orange Coke, a Sprite Coke. Like, what is this?
It's ludicrous is what it is. They're all yeah.
Ludicrous.
They're just adding words for, like,
Mhm.
unnecessarily.
Which is absolutely true.
Yeah.
And that's, again, it's fine.
Yeah, I don't
That's the
care.
melting pot of America, and I love it.
For
You know,
sure.
in the times that I've been in New York, love being in New York.
Mhm.
You know, there's culture on every corner.
Yeah.
It's wild. It's not somewhere I want to live,
Right.
but I love to visit.
Mhm.
I love that big city aspect, the good parts, the bad parts, all the parts.
Right.
It's just different. It's just a different way of living. And people that have grown up in New York, Jersey, what have you, they don't know any different. They'd
No.
probably come to a place like Davison and be like, what the
The
fuck?
fuck?
Everything's closed. You know, it's like 9 o'clock at night. Like, yeah, we just hang
Yeah.
out in our houses. This is
Yeah.
what we do.
Yeah,
There's
we're
like one or two bars that are open, but
yep.
yeah, I mean, for all intents purposes, it's it.
Yeah, we're at the lake
Yeah.
or
Well,
whatever.
people look at nightlife, and now that we're older, we also look at it like, no, no.
No.
If we're going out at like 5.
Yeah, yeah.
Like somebody's like, "Hey, we're getting together. Let's meet up at 10."
That is not happening
Nah,
anymore.
bro.
It's not happening.
Like you would have to convince me of like some banger of a party, but I don't even want to party anymore. So it would be like, what are we doing at 10 o'clock that's going to entice me enough to leave my home?
Yep. There and I don't know what that would be.
I
It
don't
would
know
have to
either.
be a concert and I would have to like really want to go, you know, and I would have to like
Yeah.
kind of prep myself for it. But other than
Like,
that,
and prep myself. That's millennial speak for take a nap.
yeah,
Like I'm gonna have to take
absolutely.
a fucking nap.
Yep. Probably taking a nap around 3 or 4. Just get it in, get it out.
I don't I just I can't requisition anything that would make sense for me to be like, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I'll meet you at 10. Nope.
There's no way I'm gonna be even no, if I'm just sitting at home and it
Dude,
get
one year I slept through fireworks.
I believe it.
Who
I
could
could do
sleep through
that.
fireworks? This guy, because it's past my fucking bedtime,
Yeah,
bro.
I could do
I
that.
want to be out. This is not my fucking forte. It's crazy to me.
Yeah, not anymore.
I would probably stay out late because I do like if you could find like the right weather and the right show. I'd like to take the kids to like Pine Knob for a concert.
Yeah. Oh
Something
yeah.
something that's a little bit more chill.
Something like that would be cool. Yep.
That would be fucking a blast to go and do. But the flip side of that is, God damn it. Then I got to fight traffic. Then I got to drive home. Then I'm going to have to stop at Taco Bell. Like, I'm not getting home till 1, 2 in the morning.
Hell yeah.
That ruins my entire next day.
Crunch wrap, extra cheese, baby.
Oh,
Let's get
yeah,
some.
all day long. Nacho cheese chalupa. Give me
Hell
the
yeah.
saucy cheese. Yep.
Yeah,
Now
give me
we're
the
talking.
saucy cheese.
You know, but it's, I don't know. I want to do shit during the day. I'm a day walker now.
I feel you. I feel you.
So I don't know. I'm trying to think if I have anything to rant about. Some shit really irritated me this week, but I can't quite recall.
Well, I got a question.
Please.
So everything that we do, like free Gmail and any free email address, anything free that you sign up for,
Yeah.
you essentially pay for with your data.
Correct.
Is how it works out.
Yes.
So I don't know. I guess I just want to place the counter argument of if you sign up for a free service opposed to a paid service, should you be paid for your data? or is that just the or is that just what you get when you sign up for a free service? Because honest to God, it wasn't until 5 years ago that I really thought about that. Like, oh, the free services are free because they want all of those things that are in their privacy or their terms of service and all that shit. And I was like, well, that's kind of
The
fucked up.
EULA, the
Not
end user license agreement
yeah,
that
not
nobody reads.
exactly. Not that I have anything to fucking hide. That's why I really don't care. You know what I mean? If they want to see my work emails, have at it. Like, answer them, please.
Yeah.
But
Make my life simpler, please.
yeah, but there are other options for paid services, Proton, and there's even probably some paid Gmail services, business or something like that. I don't know if they have the same data collection. I haven't looked enough into it,
Sure.
but I would like to think
You
that
have to imagine that anything you're using for free, you're being data mined and your information's being sold.
yeah,
Know that, understand it, make peace with it.
and I don't understand, or I guess I don't have the knowledge to know like what exactly are they taking? Are they just taking what time of day I hop on my browser and like just kind of like a personality assessment, I guess, of like when, how, who, what, when, where, why, and how of
Yeah.
my cell phone,
Yeah.
and what I do with it? Because that's kind of crazy to think about. Again, I have nothing to hide. Like, it's not like I'm trying to hide
Sure.
anything, but it is kind of crazy that
But there is right.
I'm probably a dot on a plotter somewhere on somebody's screen
Oh, without a doubt.
for something,
Yeah.
you know?
So for me, understanding that you're, with the exception of like that, you said it last week, there's an old man sitting on a mountain out somewhere that doesn't know he's supposed to be upset about everything that's happening.
Right.
Right. So that same philosophy, when it applies to using these quote unquote free services, you just have to make peace with the fact that your information is being shared everywhere. And there really isn't a way to opt out of it
Yeah, it
unless you
doesn't look like it.
unless you completely disconnect from the system.
Yeah. Right.
Completely disconnect from the system, which for all intents and purposes, like in my job, that would be an impossibility.
Right.
I
Yeah,
have I
exactly.
have zero options there.
You could disconnect your personal life from it as much as you could, but you would
Sure.
still have to have work accounts for all of the things,
All of the things. Yep, 100%. Super, super interesting question, though, because again, why isn't, I mean, think about it from this perspective. Why aren't we getting some profit sharing from Facebook?
That's exactly
Hey,
it.
Facebook, I give you a ton of information based on my searches, based on the shit I click on, based on the shit I make comments on, based on the shit that I post.
And you've created algorithms based on our data.
Correct.
So it's like if you make billions of dollars, why can't we buy into that and get
Yeah.
some profit sharing?
Why don't we get that?
Right.
Or give us some Facebook bucks so we can buy cheap shit off Temu
Yeah.
or whatever the
Yeah.
fuck it is.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Something. Yeah.
But I mean, that's a valid point. You look at all these corporations with their free services that are posting record fucking profits,
Yeah.
which is fine. I
Yeah,
believe
dude,
in free market capitalism.
absolutely.
But that's a valid question to
Mhm.
ask. Like, you're making all this money because of the information we're giving you.
Yeah.
Probably we know it, but we don't really focus on it.
And I think that's what it is
Right.
because it's so easy to
Right.
just go, yes, yes, yes. Who the fuck's going to read 9 pages?
That
Scroll.
end
I
user license
accept.
agreement,
Yes.
and now I've seen shit where people have posted on Reddit and whatnot
Mm.
where they took the EULA and they copied it and then they posted it into Chat GPT and said, give me a rundown of things I need to be aware of from a privacy perspective.
It's a great idea.
And I do that for everything, by the way.
Yeah.
Anything that I'm being asked to sign, review, whatever,
No.
without doxing myself or any potential
Sure.
clients, going through and be like, here, look at this.
Yeah.
Give me the things that I need to be aware of
Hmm.
in this. Get rid of all the legal jargon and all the legal speak and just give me the fucking bulleted point list.
Right.
And it's the same thing. Essentially, I mean, all your user data is tracked, this, that, what have you. I mean, it's fucking insane.
I need to hop on there and look at something like that because
Oh, yeah.
I am curious about it, because
It's all there.
now it's like we're we're the product of the algorithm,
Yes.
but the product is still using the algorithm.
Yes.
You know, it's like an ever evolving thing.
Yes.
Every click, every comment is just an ever evolving
I'm gonna
data.
I'm a double pouch today.
I'm about to. You know what?
So
I'm gonna put a coffee in.
there you go.
I could use a coffee break.
They had well, and you're exactly right. At the end of the day, sorry, I'm getting distracted by text messages that keep coming in on my computer. Don't mind me.
I'm not.
Fuck you. But when you're the product, you're the product. As stupid as that sounds, people don't realize that, like, oh, I'm using Facebook and da da da. Well, I've rescinded all the fucking permissions. No, you haven't. Just by using and having an account, you're granting permissions. Now there may be external permissions that are being asked about, like, and think back to like the Farmville days.
Yeah.
Farmville
Yeah.
was mining all of that data too,
For sure.
even though Farmville was owned by a subsidiary of Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
So the whole thing's just crazy. But it's like you look at the EULA for TikTok. I mean, they're tracking location data.
Oh yeah.
They're tracking all of the shit.
Man, I wonder what that would look like. You know what I mean? To pull up that data up.
Oh yeah.
And
And
like
and imagine hundreds of millions of accounts.
that's what I mean. Like
Hundreds of millions of accounts.
and spam accounts,
Oh
and
yeah.
bot accounts, and business accounts, and people with multiple accounts, and like, what the fuck?
Yep.
Imagine
that's one
just
thing I like
having to sort through all that.
that Elon did. He made like almost like a who is repository
Mm-hmm.
for Twitter of where the actual account owner
Mm-hmm.
is pulling their IPs from.
Okay.
So there was somebody that was making like a MAGA statement
Mm-hmm.
about, like, I'm fresh out of high school and I don't want to, go to war,
Right.
whatever. And then they pulled the who is data from like the Twitter aspect, and it was like posting from like Pakistan.
Yeah.
But
That's
it's like,
fucking crazy though.
and that goes back to the dead internet theory and or
Yep.
that bot theory that, like, you can't truly trust anything you see on the fucking internet anymore.
No, you really fucking can't. Like you look at some of these accounts and like
Yep.
I was on Facebook the other day and there was a sponsored post that came up. I don't even remember what the hell it was, but I clicked on the account. I had like 2 friends.
Right.
2 friends, 2 followers, and it's like they're sponsored already, and I think that's paid. I think in order to be sponsored, you have to
Yes.
pay some money.
Yeah, no, you're
right. So
paying
it's
to
like
either boost or you're doing some type of ad
it's like
posting through
yeah. So it's like
Facebook.
who the fuck is out here just like buying all of these accounts and just trying to get clicks on everything? And
Yep.
it's like what the fuck?
Well, and then it just drops you into a marketing funnel, and then you're getting the emails, you're getting the text messages, you're getting all the
Yep.
shit.
Yep.
It's wild.
It is. The
It's
whole
wild.
thing is just a fucking business. Like you're just like walking downtown city street,
Yep.
avoiding pickpocketers and fucking all the
Everything.
shit.
Well, speaking about what the fuck was it? About AI and looking at Meta. So Meta's like kind of behind the 8 ball a little bit.
Right.
Gemini's pulling away with Google, OpenAI and ChatGPT is pulling away, fucking Claude and whoever it is, Anthropic,
yeah.
Anthropic, they're kind of really opening the gap between them and Meta right now.
For sure.
So Meta has opened the purse strings. They just brought in the CEO of Scale AI.
Ooh.
Meta just hired him. $100 million signing bonus.
Ooh.
$100 million. And they pulled like 6 high-level engineers from OpenAI, $100 million signing bonuses. Basically an open checkbook. Zuckerberg's going straight scorched earth, trying to boost what they've been doing with Llama
Yeah.
and their open source AI platform, and really trying to fucking get back in the game because they're getting fucking, eclipsed on that track as everybody else is running new updates and shit like that.
Well, yeah, they're gonna end up, man. They're gonna end up like the MySpace and the Yahoos,
Right.
if they don't.
And I don't think Facebook itself is going anywhere, but
No.
the integration with AI and using AI.
This fucking Gemini's Gemini will get into my email now. You can like kind of navigate around with it. You can do a whole bunch of shit with it. You can integrate that whole thing with the phone if you want to.
Yep. Well, and I really like I'm kind of a GPT standboy,
Me
like
too.
what OpenAI is doing, because that's what I started with. As
Right.
soon as they released it, I was on the pro account. I'm locked in,
Yeah.
doing the shit. But I'm also a Google fanboy.
Right.
We both have Pixel phones. I use Gmail for all my shit. I do everything inside of that Google ecosystem using Google Drive and all the other shit.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like once Gemini really gets the integration right, and I use like the Google Assistant a lot.
Yeah. I've been trying to use it
If
more.
they can really get Gemini functioning well with like their voice mode, and I think
Mhm.
they're doing a lot of training and future iterations are going to have that, it's going to be fucking out of this world.
Yeah, I think so too. Because I do like the image generator and stuff from Gemini. It works a little bit better than GPTs, but I like the day-to-day conversing with GPT
Yeah.
for small day-to-day items, quick questions about different
Right.
things, uploading a
Uploading docs.
yep, and uploading a picture. I was at work the other day and I'm like, I uploaded a picture of the tag. I'm like, "Hey, this is some legacy equipment and tell me what you know about it." And it'll look up that whole tag and it tells me everything that I
Isn't
need
that
to know.
awesome?
It's so fucking amazing. It saves so much legwork of having to get online and find the
Right.
fucking manufacturer
Right.
and find this and really dig.
Right.
It just gives me all the information that I'm looking for,
Right.
gear ratios and all that shit. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. And Gemini doesn't work very well for those types of things yet.
Right.
Same thing
Well,
with Grok.
and
Grok is like, mm,
I think Google is understanding that people can now use GPT to do that stuff.
hmm
And now I've circumvented their entire ecosystem.
yeah,
So they're trying to understand where they are in the legacy of making themselves obsolete. So how do they marry Gemini into still search results and all of that? Because they don't want their advertising platform to go away.
yeah,
That's
right,
the lion's share of their revenue.
right,
So you look at that and there's a lot of interesting things there, but you're 100% accurate. You can take a picture of randomly anything. Like I could take a picture of this cup with it saying Chemtech down here
yeah,
in GPT and be like, hey, give me all the information about this and where can I buy them?
yeah,
And
and
then
it
boom,
will,
it's going to give me those fucking links.
yeah,
So now I've circumvented Google completely
hmm
without having to look that up. And Google had that a little bit earlier prior to AI with like Google Lens, where it
yes,
would do the matching with the pictures. And I've
yep,
used Google Lens a ton. But at this point in time, as of today, GPT is a little bit better at it.
agreed,
And
yeah,
I think the biggest problem, and well, the biggest thing that, in my opinion, is working to Google's advantage is that adoption rates are slow.
yeah,
We're the early adopters of AI,
right,
right, wrong, or indifferent. Most everybody has now been trained to utilize Google
yes,
or to just do a Google search.
yep,
We're on the front, the tip of the spear in that regard with going out there and being like, you know what, I can upload this to GPT and get an answer probably much more thoroughly explained than having to go through search results.
yeah,
So I'm going to let them do the work.
and if you have any questions about those search results, you just continue the conversation,
There it is.
and you got a
Yeah, yeah.
question about this, what is this,
Right.
and it'll break that right down for you. And
Right.
it's so fast and convenient,
Yep.
especially like day-to-day tasks. I mean, I use it every day
Every day.
for little day-to-day shit at work. And I'll
Yep.
be like, hey, will you just remember this for next time? And then so I can come back to it later, and it's like, yeah, for sure. I'll remember it. I'm like, you're great, Chat GPT. I love you.
Yep. Don't give it compliments though.
I don't. I just say thank you.
Be polite.
Yep. I'm
Yes.
just polite.
Yep. Just polite. So what else you got?
This one's perfect for you.
Oh, good. Is it going to
So,
get my blood pressure up?
no, outrage sells, social media algorithms reward anger and controversy.
Hmm.
Is that warping how we see the world?
Absolutely it is.
It 100% is. I think the
Outrage
same way.
theater.
Yep.
Outrage theater. And this is coming from the rant guy.
And it's just so constant.
Why am I so short in this thing today? Jesus Christ, dude.
The more I pull myself back from social media a little bit, it's like now when I get on, it's like, Jesus fucking Christ, you miserable bastards is all I can think. Like,
Yeah.
oh my God, I'm
Yeah.
like, what the fuck? If you stay off it, your mental health just slowly gets better. You know what I mean? But
I think the baseline for humans is happiness.
it's supposed to be.
I think I think everybody wants to be happy.
hmm
And I heard a great quote. I think I don't know who the quote came from, but Alex Hormozy, I follow him. I love all of his shit.
Yeah, I've seen him.
He is a phenomenal speaker, motivator, businessman, the whole thing. But Hermosi had a short that he posted on TikTok or wherever the other day. And it was like, you know, if you can choose to be angry, you can also choose to be happy.
Mhm.
Set your baseline, make your baseline happiness. And when things happen, address them, move on with it.
Yep.
When you sit there, and that's what I tell the kids all the time. I said, you have every right to feel your emotions. I'm never going to invalidate the way that you feel because I can't tell you to not be upset. I can
Right.
tell you that, but that's not going to help you.
Right.
It's okay to be upset, but you don't have the right to be mean.
That's very true.
So it's okay. This situation or this thing can make you upset. Totally valid. I'm here for it. Be upset. But it doesn't give you the right to be mean to your brother, your sisters, whomever,
Right.
your mom, your dad, anybody else.
That's absolutely it too.
Handle it, recognize it, okay, and then move on with your day.
Yeah.
I'm real big on trying to showcase, like, you don't let your anger or frustration or whatever steal the joy from the remainder of your time
Right.
of whatever you're doing. You know, it's like tell the boys, oh, you guys have lacrosse at 6:30. Make sure all your stuff's ready, play video games, but in a few hours we got to be ready to go. So we got to eat dinner and do the things. Ugh. And I'm like, no, it's okay. The answer is, okay, Dad,
Yeah.
no problem.
All
Cool.
right.
We still have 2 hours to fuck around.
Yeah.
That's the answer.
Right.
But instead, they want to get fucking so pissed off. And I'm like, so what? You want to spend the next 2 hours angry and go to lacrosse angry? What's the matter with you?
That's what would end up happening. Yeah.
You know, why would you do this to yourself? Like, just step back,
Mm-hmm.
you know, astral project. Here you are being upset. But if you can take yourself away from that emotion for a minute, why would you ruin the next 2 hours?
Right.
Just have fun.
Yeah. Do whatever you want to do.
I'm informing you. That's all I'm doing
Mm-hmm.
because I believe that you should be informed. I'm not gonna come in 10 minutes before and be like, all right, get ready for lacrosse, we're leaving. Because then you'll be like, oh my God.
Right now.
You know, I want you to have time to just understand, like, okay, yeah, I got to pay attention to the time. I got to make sure I'm being, you know, efficient, make sure my shit's all packed up. I've got my water, I've got all my equipment, I'm ready to go.
No.
I'm not trying to ruin your day, but you guys are letting it ruin your
Yeah.
day. Don't do that.
No.
Go out there and have fun. Everything's
Right.
cool. Everything's chill, baby. Everything's chill.
Everything's chill.
But to your point, your original question, it is outrage sells. And I feel
Yeah.
like there was a titanic shift with like the news cycle. Because if you watch the news cycle, even like old broadcasts from like, you know, Dan Brokaw
Mm-hmm.
or that period, like the early 90s, they were just reporting stories. There was no spin. And I probably shouldn't say there was no spin because people older than me are going to be like, oh my God, the news back when I was a kid was just da 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 da. There was probably still spin. Let me think about this a little bit more thoroughly. But it was more, to me, this is my interpretation, it felt more fact-based.
It just seemed like the news.
Yeah.
This is what happened.
Right. It felt less editorialized.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where it was more like, you know, oh, here's what's happening in the Middle East, you know, news out of Russia, blah, blah, blah. You know, this is what's happening in the stock market.
Yeah.
It just felt like it was more like a regurgitation of the facts.
Well, and there's a lot of panels now. Panels are popular where you have panels of people that all
Talking
just sit
heads.
around. Yeah, just sit
Yep.
around and discuss these things.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
more or less on the ones on TV turn into an argument.
Right.
Because outrage sells. That confrontation,
Yep.
people arguing,
Yep.
bitching. Now you get both demographics of both sides, whatever the argument is, watching. I think it's all just a goddamn just trying to sell to your advertisers, you
Right.
know. Just
And
need people to watch.
And that's what it is.
Yeah, we don't
It-
really care what it is. They just gotta watch.
Because if you go out there and again, I'm calling myself out for all my ranting and raving, but if you go out there and you just have a normal measured conversation, it's not that engaging.
Yeah.
But
They're
I
not
want to
gonna-
hear some shit.
They're not gonna watch it on TV. You know,
Right.
but yeah, everybody wants the tea. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like,
Yeah. I just it's hard to justify it in my mind because I love to be outraged. I'm a very enthusiastic person.
yeah.
So like even when we're watching sports ball, you know, I'm gonna
Yeah.
freak out. I'm gonna throw my hat. I'm gonna jump up and down. I'm gonna cheer and yell and scream. and then I'm going to cuss at a player, and then I'm going to be pissed off. But it's that roller coaster of emotions.
Yeah.
And we've talked about that. I try not to let the outcome of a Detroit Lions loss affect the rest of my day.
Yeah, but it does.
But it absolutely
It
does.
absolutely does for me too.
But by and large, and this is things that we've talked about extensively, you can worry and concern yourself about a ton of shit, but at the end of the day, you can only control what you can control.
Yeah. But when it comes to the Detroit Lions, there's only 17 weeks.
18.
I don't care. We need enough wins to get to the playoffs. And if we lose one that we should have won, I'm going to be frustrated about it.
Valid.
Because there's only like 20 some weeks in the year, we're watching it. It's one of those things that I'm just very, very enthusiastic about, and I really, really like, and I really enjoy.
Yep.
And it'll ruin part of my day. It really depends on how we lose.
Yeah.
If Jared Goff throws 5 interceptions, I'm gonna be fucking pissed.
Right.
If we lose by
call back to the Washington game.
Yeah. But a lot of those things are like circumstantial.
Yes. Absolutely they are. But it's like everybody's like, oh, well, World War III is coming between Israel and Iran. And it's like, at the end of the day, I don't want to stick my head in the sand and not be aware.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to read it, but I'm probably not going to voice my opinion on it as much.
And I'm not going to sit here and worry about things that are so far out of my control.
Right.
What am I going to do? Fucking hop a plane to Tel Aviv and pledge my loyalty to Mossad?
You could.
I'm not.
If you wanted to.
Not. That's
you could,
bad.
Though.
I'm not. Or vice versa. Am I going to go to Iran and try to help them with their nuclear program? No.
Yeah, no,
I'm
I
not.
get it. And that's the fucking thing, dude, is like most people, I don't think they have other shit to do. And I think this is what they do to occupy their time.
Wow.
It has to be, right?
But I don't understand it.
There's so many.
I've
even been wrapped up in it before. So don't get me wrong. I'm not like judging from a soapbox or anything. I'm just saying, like, I don't understand. Like, how is everybody so wrapped up in it?
Right. Well, and
How'd
I think,
they do that?
And I'm going to give Trump his flowers here for a hot second, because I want to say it was in his first term that he was getting like a bunch of real hardball questions about, are you siding with Russia? Are you siding with Ukraine? Where are you at? And he's like, I want people to stop dying. What a fucking amazing and measured response.
Yeah.
Because that's the answer.
It
At
is.
the end of the day, as far as humanity is concerned, I just don't want people dying in fucking senseless wars.
That's it.
Whether they're in the military, whether they're civilians, whatever it is. I just don't want people to fucking be getting killed because of some fucking crazy war.
Right.
That's just a couple of fucking knuckleheads going at each other.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not here to fucking adjudicate the geopolitics of the fucking Ukrainian-Russia invasion. I just want people to stop fucking dying.
Yeah, it's fair.
Figure it out.
It's a very fair point.
Get to the table and just be done with it.
And this war in the Middle East has been going on fucking forever.
Centuries.
Like how are they?
Since the dawn of time, if we're being honest.
Why are they? I don't even know. Like
and frankly, I don't care.
Right.
Peace in the Middle East would be amazing. But you know what? Right, wrong, or indifferent, I just don't want us getting dragged into another war.
Doesn't it?
We have children that could be drafted.
Yeah.
I
know.
Like that's the likelihood that happens is pretty slim. But most wars aren't going to be fought on the ground anymore anyway.
Right.
It's going to be cyber attacks. It's going to be fucking tactical bullshit and all the things.
Mass indoctrination through your school system.
Yeah, no shit. We've already dipped our toe in the water of how broken that fucking system is. It is. It's all outrage theater. Because the more you can get these sides fucking pumped up, well, and that goes back to hyper locally. There was conversations here locally several years ago, I think during COVID, about like a Greyhound bus stop. And all of a sudden there was a bunch of misinformation about immigrants getting dropped off at our local fucking supermarket in the fucking parking lot. And I swear to God, we had fucking hundreds of people show up to a town hall meeting.
Yeah.
I was there and I listened to everybody. I'm like, this is fucking sad.
This is crazy.
This is fucking sad. because it was all just a bunch of unsubstantiated claims and shit like
Mhm.
that. And I'm like,
It's just all shit people heard,
yep.
you know?
It was the zeitgeist got flowing a little bit, and
Yep.
people are talking on the community pages and this and that, and
That,
unfounded articles, and all of a sudden our
yeah.
local news guy Dave Bondy's out there fucking interviewing people. I'm like,
Yeah.
what is this?
Yeah.
What are we fucking doing? This is fucking insane.
Yeah, that was like that was the height-ish of COVID. I
Yeah.
guess not the height, like people's masks and stuff were off, I think.
Yeah. But I remember sitting there and I'm like, this is just fucking sad.
Mm-hmm.
This is fucking sad that this is the state of America right now. And, again, same thing with the immigration and all that. I mean, everybody just wants to be outraged about everything. You're either outraged that we're deporting people and we're breaking up families, or you're outraged that it's even gotten to this point. At the end of the day, just like we talked about last week, it's all rule of law. That's all I'm looking for. If you've broken the law and you're here illegally, why do we need to bend the rules?
We don't.
It's a very black and white issue for me.
For me too.
There isn't a lot of arguments that make sense to me.
Same. And I think once you get it all back to square, if you can just keep that up, that's just how it becomes.
Legal immigration is one of the most amazing things that our country's ever done
If
to ensure that we can have all of the amazing people that we have inside of our country.
Yeah, quality people.
That's right.
Like people that want to be
There
here
you
and
go.
want to expand their education and
Yep.
bring their
Opportunities.
and show us their culture, but be happy that you're here. And you know what I mean?
And embrace being an American.
Yeah, right. We're not saying you have to be totally American. Bring some of your stuff here.
Yeah.
Show us. Open a fucking restaurant. You
To
know
me,
what I mean?
that is not a controversial opinion.
No.
But again, somebody's going to hear this and they're going to be like, oh, those motherfuckers, bunch of right-wing assholes. That's not the case.
No, not at all.
That's not the case at all. It just, it boggles my mind.
Everybody's talked about it, but world peace would be the best way to do it because of all the cultures. Everybody has something to offer.
Yeah.
And if we could all just do our own shit and trade with each other, I mean, imagine how great that could actually be. Of course, you're going to have disagreements and disputes and like all of that shit, but like,
why isn't global prosperity a thing that we're all going after?
Yeah, I don't know. It's like these neighboring countries all fucking hate each other for some reason. And I don't even know if they know why. It's not like there's...
It's in their DNA.
It's like ingrained family history and bloodlines and all that weird shit.
Centuries. Well, and you look at it, it's all tribalistic.
Yeah, very.
It's us versus them. So it's country versus country. And then it's, you even look at it, and I'm not that competitive, but like locally with our sports team, our neighbor down the road, those are our competitors.
Yeah,
fuck Lapeer, everybody's jawing and doing this and whatever. Okay, I'm okay with that. A little bit of healthy competition isn't a bad thing.
For sure.
But like, again,
but it would be
to make it a sports metaphor, you can have good sportsmanship.
Yeah, because that would be equivalent to like, even after that game, you can't go to Lapeer.
Right.
And go to that restaurant in there because you're not allowed over there,
Right. Like I could never wear my maroon and gold Davison flip-flop 5K shirt over to Lapeer, or else, somebody's throwing a rock at my car.
Yep.
Or like they're telling me I got to get out of this restaurant. Like, that's not the case.
This is lightning country, boy.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So the tribalistic aspect of what people do, it just boggles my mind. I can't wrap my head around it.
And it's fucking brutal over there.
Oh,
like
crazy.
They still stone motherfuckers over there. Like imagine standing up in there and just a bunch of motherfuckers just chucking rocks at you.
Crazy.
That is crazy to even think about.
So fucking wild.
I know.
Barbaric.
Yes.
It's just barbarism to a fucking absolute T.
It's crazy. It seriously boggles my mind to even think about it. That in 2025, they still do that shit on the other side of the world.
Well, and you look at the disparity between nations too, first world nations, third world nations, the whole thing. I mean, why aren't we trying to bring everybody up?
I don't know. Like, why are there still places without power and internet and
water?
like, like what the fuck?
Yeah.
It
Well,
doesn't make any sense.
And that calls back to last week's episode, talking about how soft
Mhm.
certain groups are because they've never known anything other
Right.
than that.
Right.
The suicidal empathy.
Mhm.
It's totally valid.
For sure. 100%.
And again, we live very comfortable lives
Yeah.
with our fresh water and our heat and our air conditioning.
Not
and
only
our
is it
fucking-
fresh, it's reverse osmosis.
Yeah.
It's triple filtered,
triple filter.
pulled
I just
straight
drank
out of the
straight
ground.
tap. All the fluoride, baby.
Yes.
Give me all the fluoride.
But no, you're absolutely right. We live on our own means.
Yeah.
Do whatever the fuck we want to do.
I know.
If I wanted to, I could go buy a bigger house. Like,
Yeah.
well, you know what? I don't like this car anymore. I'm going to go buy a brand new one.
Right.
Like.
That's a little topical. Ease
Well,
off.
off.
Ease off. I just saw my balance out on that car for the next 72 months. I was like, God damn it.
I'm only thinking about that because I'm kind of looking too, because we're going to need another vehicle. We were talking about that this weekend, but
it's fucking terrible.
Yeah. But yeah, we live pretty good lives, and people on the other side of the world they can't go to a car dealership and buy a car. They fucking, some can't even go to a grocery store or,
Right.
It's crazy.
It is so wild to me. So let's turn the tides a little bit. So we came over yesterday and had our first swim pool party over at your place. Man, the kids had such a good time.
That's good. I'm glad.
They had a fucking blast.
I'm glad.
And of course the boys didn't want to go to their basketball game, which they got absolutely gobsmacked at.
Season's over though.
I think we scored 12 points.
Hell yeah. It's a rough one.
That was tough.
Michael's first season of basketball was rough too. It was like that. We just got gobsmacked all the time.
You know what? But it was great though. Being able to get out, get the kids out, get them some fresh air, get them some vitamin D.
Yep.
They're out there in the pool swimming. It was so great.
Yeah,
and
it was
thank you
hot.
for extending the invite.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was amazing. My chest got a little sunburned.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
was
to see it.
Well, because got a nice hairy chest here.
Mhm.
So rubbing sunscreen into a fucking hairy
Hard.
chest is like the
Hard.
worst. All the hairs all like randomly this way and that way and all bunchy. I'm like, ugh.
Well, when we took the trees down, now it's officially the sun deck.
Yeah.
It's hot, but we need to probably put one more umbrella up over there in the corner so that
Yeah.
you have a couple options for shade when you're up there.
Yep.
Because you got to get in and out, so you don't completely cook.
Well, you know what? On both sides, you could put a piece of unistrut on the top or on the post closest to the pool, and then you could put a sunshade right over top of it.
Oh, that's a good idea.
And they're not super expensive. You just use some chain and some carabiners and stuff.
Yeah,
Get it tight over there. They work fucking great.
it's a pretty good idea. I never
They
thought
work
about that.
fucking really good.
But yeah, it was a really good time. You guys can come over whenever you want.
Oh, we had such a blast. Well, and I think everybody's going up north for the 4th of July, as far as my family. So you might have a fucking couch potato sitting there watching the Little Tigers baseball and enjoying some pool time.
Oh yeah, we'll get some food on the grill.
I'll be living in my board shorts 24/7, 365.
Hell yeah. Bring your closed-toe shoes. We can cut some wood.
What are you, a fucking psychopath? I've got my flip-flop 5K shirt on, man. It's flip-flops all day, every day.
Taylor cut wood in fucking Birkenstock sandals, so
love it.
Yeah.
Pulling a little Jesus action.
Oh yeah. She was loving it. I'm like, you sure you want to use the wood splitter in those? She's like, yeah, I'll be all right.
Are Birks still super expensive?
Yeah.
Are they?
Yeah, they're stupid expensive.
But they're nice.
Yeah,
They
that's what I
last
hear.
a long time.
That's what I hear.
Well, they like mold to your foot. Whatever they use.
I've noticed that. You can see like their little toe imprints in them.
Yeah.
All the girls have them though. You see like the
Oh, do
picture.
they?
Yeah, you see the pictures of like the.
Do they wear them with socks though?
Sometimes, yeah.
I hate
Taylor
that.
doesn't always, but
I
yep,
hate that.
they do. Socks with like crew socks.
Yep.
Yep.
Gross.
It's a weird face.
It's a weird phase. It's a weird phase. But you know what? That's what kids do. Kids are going to be kids.
Yeah.
I don't know.
For
It's
sure.
fucking crazy. But do you have any plans for the 4th, or is it just us hanging out at the house?
No, I think we're just saying. I think Thursday we might go out to the lake. A couple of our friends are going out there. They got boats and campers and stuff, so we might shoot out there on Thursday for a little bit. But as far as I know, I think we're just hanging out at the house. I'm gonna go buy some fireworks this week, and
Nice.
yeah,
Hold off. Get as close to the 4th as you can get.
I'm working on it.
Get as close as you can.
I got
If
some.
we're not going to
coupons.
light them off till Saturday, you
Yeah.
can buy them the day after.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
You see some like buy one, get ones, buy one, buy one, get two free.
Yep.
Because they
My-
want to liquidate that shit.
Hell yeah, my buddy got buy one, get 3 free last year.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm talking about.
I mean, I like deal hunting.
Yeah.
I'll go in on some fireworks with you.
I even got the little coupons in the mail.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, like 3 or I don't remember what they are, but 3 or 4 coupons for one of the local ones. I think the one up there at the grocery store.
Well, that's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Can't beat that.
Hell no.
Can't beat that. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. It's been a busy week. So like my
Yeah.
business is just fucking booming right now,
That's awesome, though.
which is a great problem to have.
Mm-hmm.
But now I'm having to work like an adult, and it's summertime,
right.
which is okay. Because when you're in sales, it's just that natural churn of shit.
Yeah.
You got to get shit done. You got to keep irons in the fire. You got to keep things going. But I'm like, fuck, I'm just scrambling and scrambling and scrambling,
Mm-hmm.
which is okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
It's gonna slow down.
It will.
Come wintertime.
There,
You know
there's
what I mean?
always an ebb and flow to the business.
For sure.
And I've got a lot of closings right now, but I've got to build my pipeline for Q3 and Q4.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you got to keep the machine pushing forward at all times,
Yep.
which is huge.
Well, I'm happy for you. I'm glad everything's going well.
I appreciate that. Always love the moral support.
For sure.
If you know anybody looking to buy or sell, send them my way.
I will.
Not you, though, because you're close enough now, and now I know where your house is. Can't go anywhere.
Yeah, not for a while.
So you're stuck.
Yep, I'm gonna stick for a while.
It's great, though. And you've got a nice little oasis back there.
Yeah, for sure.
We've made a little progress with talking about getting our pool at the house.
Oh, yeah.
And that fucker's going to be 800 square feet.
Oh, yeah.
Tens
baby.
of thousands of gallons of water.
Hell yeah.
And I am fucking here for it.
Yeah, fuck, dude. Mine's 12,000.
Yeah. 27-foot round.
Yep. It's 52 inches total, but it's not, that's to the top.
Right. So I think we're going to do the 20 by 40, 54 inch, top to bottom. So from the bottom to the rail. It's going to be awesome.
It's going to be super awesome.
I cannot wait. And that is going to be a massive fucking pool.
Yeah.
But I am fucking here for it, bro.
I want to help with anything on there too.
Yeah, it's going to be so much fun. I started designing the layout. I've got a CAD program, an open source CAD program, so I started laying it all out. I'm like,
what is that called?
I don't remember. I'll send you a link.
Yeah, send me a link to it.
But it is fucking great because that's the planning I do. I need right now to plan.
I never knew they had one of those. My dad used AutoCAD for when he was a design engineer or whatever. And he's like, dude, you could make anything with that.
AutoCAD. We had a bunch of people that use SolidWorks.
Yep.
There was a bunch of super cool shit, but Google had one that I think was called like SketchUp that you could use inside the Google suite. They've sunset the program, but it's fucking amazing to do shit like that.
Yeah, for sure. Make sure you send me the link because I want to see it.
I will.
I want to check that out.
A lot of fun. So I've laid out the backyard. I took like a Google screenshot of like Google Maps of the backyard.
Oh.
So I was able to take that and kind of overlay it and then start designing all the shit.
That's a good idea.
Like getting my fence all laid out and how we're going to do the deck and how it's going to be sunk in. And it's going to be fucking sweet.
That is awesome.
I'm pretty stoked about that. But I don't know. I don't really have anything else. Just busy doing the things, man.
I am so proud of you. No Outrage Theater today.
I don't have anything. I'm sure there's something.
No, life's
that I've
going
been
so good that you haven't even had a chance to be upset.
So let's talk about some of the things we've been watching. So I recommended that you start watching Three Body Problem.
Yep.
On Netflix, and Netflix original based on some books.
Yep.
That is fucking phenomenal.
Yeah. I've never read the books. I've never even heard about it until you had mentioned it. Yeah, we're I think 6 episodes in, and I was hooked.
It's good.
It wrapped me in because it's something that is plausible.
Yeah. Well,
it's not that far out there.
It's sci-fi, but it's not like Star Wars, Star Trek style sci-fi.
Yeah. So have you ever heard of Green Bank Observatory in West Virginia?
Maybe.
So this fucking show made me think of that because we went on a trip and we were out there in West Virginia, and my buddy's like, hey, you got to come check this thing out. It's called Green Bank Observatory. And they have out in the middle of fucking nowhere
on top of a mountain.
Yeah, in this town, it's like, it's kind of on the top and kind of down like this. So there's a big mountain here shielding all of one side of this base.
Nice.
But the town is like 500 people
Oh,
or
wow.
less. It's very, very tiny. The places are really spread out, and nobody within, what they say, like 17 miles or something, can't even have like a microwave because it affects the satellites.
No shit.
Yeah, so they actually had because they are, so what they do is they have a bunch of different satellites all over. You can only go in one or two of the buildings, and then you can take a tour on a shuttle, and they'll take you all around the property. And I think there's like 7 or 8 satellites that are strategically placed all over out there, and they send signals out into space and try to get signals back,
Yeah.
from something, see if it'll bounce off something or if they can maybe get a message back or whatever.
Yeah.
But there's a whole fucking crew of people all
Right.
working that, doing that every single
Right.
day. But yeah, the one of the stories that they had was they were getting this weird ping from something that was close. They knew it wasn't from space. It was something close, like in the town or whatever. And they're trying to narrow it down. So they send a crew of people out, and they end up making because everybody in there, they don't have microwaves or anything. Like nobody, and they've all agreed that they don't do it. So they track this thing down, and they end up going to this woman's house. The woman's like, no, she's like, I don't have anything. And it was they had a heating blanket in this dog's doghouse
No
outside.
shit.
Yeah. And the fucking satellite things were picking up that frequency.
No shit.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
That's wild.
I know. So like that minute of a frequency from 10 miles away, it was picking up. And it looks just like I don't know if you've made it that far yet in the show, but there's these fucking satellites, dude, are 100 feet. I mean, they are just absolutely giant. They look huge when you're driving up to it. You can see, you're like, holy shit, that's a
Yeah.
satellite. And then you're on the shuttle, and you don't get to get close to it because it's
Right.
powered. But like you're on, and like as far as you can see is all satellite dish,
Wow.
and it's just shooting something straight up into the
Right.
sky.
Right.
That's crazy to think about.
That is absolutely insane to think about.
Yeah.
Well, so two things. The first thing is in the 3-body problem, they talk about early in the show about like that wow signal
Yeah.
that was received.
Yep.
So I loved how they tied in like a real life thing into this story,
For sure.
which I thought was super intriguing. And the wow signal was basically what the fucking research scientist was receiving
Right.
that basically couldn't be interpreted of sorts. I thought that was super fucking interesting.
Super cool.
Yep, which is crazy. But then the second thing is have you ever heard of the dark forest theory?
No.
So the dark forest theory is that basically we're out there and all of a sudden we're the ones that are sending out signals and stuff like that.
Hmm.
And essentially the dark forest theory says we should not be doing that because the likelihood that there is an advanced civilization out there, if they hear this signal or they receive a signal from us,
Hmm.
that is basically us calling out to them like, hey, we're here and we're somewhat advanced. And then they show up and basically annihilate us. So the dark forest theory is like, listen, if you're advanced enough to do stuff like this, you keep your fucking mouth closed.
No shit.
And that is like an oversimplified version of it.
Yeah. Right.
But it's like, should we really be doing this? Like
Hmm.
we think because we haven't ever received a signal back, like, oh, maybe we're the only ones out here.
Hmm.
But the likelihood of that happening, knowing that there's like 4 trillion galaxies in the observable universe,
Right.
makes you very, very, very fucking nervous.
Yeah.
And that's galaxies. That we're not talking about stars
Right.
with potential planets. We're talking galaxies.
Yeah. There has to be more habitable planets, right?
Yes.
Has to be.
Yes.
Like it just
Well,
seems
in the
very
thing,
improbable that
the
there's
thing
not
is,
any.
people are like, oh, well, then why haven't they made it's almost incomprehensible for us to understand the size of the galaxy.
Yeah. I
One
know.
of the most amazing things that I saw was I was 17 years old and I was in South America.
Hmm.
We were in Bolivia and we were out in legitimately the jungle, like a compound out in the jungle. This is not a story about my gayo days. I was 17 years old. It was a school trip, but we're out in the jungle. And so of course they've got like the sodium phosphorus lights that are out there. So, I mean, everything was lit up.
Right.
But you could walk out and you walk out of this building because there was no light pollution around us. And you looked up and it was literally just the Milky Way right over the center. And it was, you didn't need any lights.
Right.
Like when we go out in the dark around where we are, you can see stars, but you don't see stars.
For sure.
And down there, we're out here legitimately in the middle of fucking nowhere. And you look up and you're just like, holy shit. Like you don't need anything.
Yeah.
Even and it was probably the moon wasn't out. So like legit, just like a band of just pink and orange and blue.
And the stars are like this close together. It seems
And it was like, holy shit. It was humbling.
yeah.
Even at 17 years old, being a narcissistic fucking teenager, I'm like, wow, this is fucking crazy to see. You just you don't understand how infinitesimally small we are.
Mm-hmm.
And it goes back to how inconsequential all this crazy shit is that we're always arguing about.
Right.
None of it matters. Go out and touch some grass and look at the fucking sky.
Yeah, literally.
Like we are just a fucking crazy living organism, a meat sack hurtling through space at tens of thousands of miles per second with just millions upon millions upon millions of stars and galaxies surrounding us.
Just seems crazy, doesn't it?
It is bonkers. And like none of this shit matters. Like what kind of construct is this? Why the fuck are we going to work? What is this? Who gives a shit? Why aren't we just sitting around fucking growing our own food, fucking talking with our kids, finding our own little tribe, hanging out with people that we know, like, and trust? Like, let's just fucking do the shit, man.
Yeah. Let's just hang out.
Just disconnect from all this fucking craziness.
Yep.
It blows my mind. Blows my mind. And so this show, the show really has me engaged because it's so interesting to think about like interplanetary species kind of showing up on your back doorstep. Like, oh God, what do we do?
Yeah. Well, make sure you watch some more of it so that we can talk about it. I'm going to watch another episode tonight.
Yeah. I'm going to try to pump in a few too, just because I'm not caught up yet. You're farther ahead than I am. I think there's only 8 episodes.
8. Yeah.
So I think I'm about halfway through and you're a few ahead. So we'll have to finish it. We can talk about it next week.
But they've already signed on a second season.
Yeah, I'm super pumped for that.
Yeah, me too.
It's going to be great. I did see a preview today for a new one called Project Hail Mary.
Ooh, I haven't seen that.
I watched the preview. Who's the who played Ken in the Barbie movie? Ryan Gosling.
Yeah.
So Ryan Gosling's in there and it sounds like all these stars are going out. They've been infected with something, but there's one star like 11 or 12 light years away. And so he's the one that's being sent to this star to try to figure out why it hasn't been infected and what they can do. So that's basically the gist of what I got from the preview, but it looks really cool.
Okay.
And he actually engages with like an alien as well once he gets out there.
Yeah.
And it's written by the same guy that did The Martian.
Okay.
And so the guy that wrote The Martian, it's very science-based and very grounded in reality.
Ooh,
like you don't have to suspend belief in watching it.
Right.
So I'm really intrigued to see what this one's like because I haven't read any of his books, but I thought The Martian was fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, that was good.
I thought that was a great movie as well. So there's a lot of cool shit coming out.
For sure. And
I like this concept of, these interplanetary species and engaging with them and whatnot. Because I mean, who knows? Who truly fucking knows?
Yeah.
And it could either be the best thing to happen to humanity or the worst thing to happen to humanity. If you find out that like aliens are legitimately real.
Right.
And maybe we're the aliens.
Maybe.
You go back and
they have the theory of the Antarctica ice wall.
Yeah.
And the pyramids in Antarctica. So, I mean, there's a lot of different theories of what coulda, shoulda.
And I know nothing about it, but like they talk about the Anunnaki.
Yeah.
And I've watched a ton of videos about that. I'm like, this is fucking wild.
I bought that book, The 12th Planet, for like $6 or something. I haven't read it yet, but that was the guy. The hell's his name? Oh fuck, it's beside me now. But he wrote all these books on the Anunnaki. He believes that the Anunnaki was a real thing. That's
is it the black guy?
No. I forget the guy's name. You can look it up on Amazon. It's called The 12th Planet.
Okay.
But no, that's the guy you're thinking of is Billy Carson.
Yeah.
He's like a historical type of guy, but you never really know if those guys are like totally truthful
Yeah.
or not. But he's a
Good.
great storyteller.
Great
and,
storyteller.
and he's been
And that's all I'm looking for on social media anyway. Is
and
just a
he's
good
been
fucking story.
he's been all over the place too. He's went to Egypt and he
Oh,
like
yeah.
walked through the pyramids and he videos, all of his different experiences and stuff. So it's still super cool to watch.
Yeah.
And I mean, does anybody really? I mean, it's all historical shit that we're trying to
Right.
figure out. So
Well,
you're
and
bound to be wrong.
I think the part for me that is always interesting is like we just accept history
Yeah,
as it's been interpreted and told to us.
that's it.
Is that truly accurate?
Well, the thing that gets me is like looking back in the early 1900s at some of these fucking buildings that were in like Philadelphia,
Oh, yeah.
Chicago, like
Yeah.
all of those. And like some of them don't even exist anymore, but they still have pictures of them.
Right.
And it's like, why?
Right.
Is like my biggest thing. It's
Right.
always just like, why wouldn't we have that? Like, that's some serious fucking architecture to not even have
Right.
paved roads.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, these are like some
They were
serious
still dealing with
buildings.
horse and buggy.
Yeah, and it's like you guys are building these just monumental structures that are just beautiful inside and out, hand carved stuff,
The
and it's like,
craftsmanship.
yeah, and it's like, man, why don't we still do that? Now everything is like modern and plastic and fucking 3D printed, and it's like, man, what the fuck? Like, let's get back to
know.
building some badass buildings out of
I know.
stone. Like,
Fucking crazy.
yeah, it's weird.
Crazy, amazing shit.
You know what I wish? You know what I hope is true?
What?
There used to be giants.
Yeah.
I hope that's true because that would be fucking cool. They're not in my DNA,
Yeah.
but
Mine either.
That'd be fucking cool though, because that would make a lot of sense of how some of this shit got built. You
Oh,
know what I mean?
absolutely.
If you did have like a species of giant fucking humans that were just like,
Yeah.
you had Andre the Giant, that guy was fucking enormous, and like
Yeah.
there was really nobody else like him.
Yeah.
And so I don't know, man. A bunch of weird shit
there's just
could have been,
so-
should have been, you
yeah,
know?
there's just so many unknowns
Yeah.
that it's hard to rationalize that, like, is history really accurate?
Yeah, it's hard to say like, yep, that's probably what happened.
Right.
Like that seems truthful. Like,
Yeah.
no, it doesn't. Like,
I
not
mean,
really.
I believe that there was the War for Independence, the Civil War. I'm not questioning those historical accounts, but like, do we really know like the history of humans?
No. So there were oh what the fuck. Beth Shapiro was on Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
And she's like an anthropologist, but she works for that colossal company that's
Yeah.
getting the DNA from all these different animals
Yeah.
and species. And they have a segment in that podcast where they kind of theorize how old humans are.
Right.
When did we go from Neanderthal to Homo sapien?
Right.
And like those kinds of different things. Because there was a boxer back in like the 50s who had this big fucking forehead.
Yep.
Man, I forget his name, but they ended up testing his DNA and he had a little bit of Neanderthal DNA
No shit.
in his blood. And it made sense because everybody was like, fuck, he looks a little bit different. Like he's
Yeah.
a human,
Right.
but he's had big ass hands. He had a really big forehead. His eyes were spaced out a little bit more. And like, they were just like, man, what the hell? And kind of find out he had a little bit of Neanderthal DNA. Yeah, it'd be crazy to like, in that podcast, Beth said that collectively around the world, everybody has like 0.01 or up to 0.08% Neanderthal DNA. And if
No
you could,
shit.
yeah, and if you could collect all of the DNA from everybody around the world, you could make a Neanderthal with 98% DNA.
No shit.
Yeah, so like you would only be missing that 2%, which they're not 100% sure where to go. She's like, but once we found that out, now we know the answer is in the 2%. Now we know that we have 98. Now we just have to find
Right.
that too. So
Interesting.
yeah, I thought that was super cool, So it's like, okay, so the Neanderthals were real then
Right.
because they have the DNA of them. They
Right.
have ancestors with part primal DNA,
Right.
hunter-gatherer style shit. You know what I mean?
Well, and to that point, with not understanding the evolutionary cycle and all that other crazy
Sure.
shit, we're talking about like the 12th planet, this planet X
Mhm.
that could be unobserved in some type of wild, crazy elliptical orbit
Yep.
around the sun. That's what they talk about with like the Younger Dryas impact theory,
Mhm.
is that when that planet comes past us every 13,500 years on average,
Mhm.
maybe it pulls asteroids in from the Oort belt or whatever. And that's what is what's impacting our planet and creating all these crazy floods and all this crazy shit, because there's such a concerted record with ancient civilizations about
Mhm.
this thing happening, which is what they call the Younger Dryas, where there's this massive flood and all this crazy shit happened, where for all intents and purposes the world could look vastly different after something like that.
Oh, yeah.
And it could, in theory, wipe out a civilization. And maybe we're getting down to, tens of thousands of people left on this planet. And then they have to repopulate the planet. And essentially they're starting over from nothing.
And then you can rewrite it how you want.
I'm not saying
Or
that's accurate.
or how you remember.
I mean,
One of the two.
and maybe there's been 20 civilizations prior to us. And every time our growth and acceleration increases a little bit more till maybe we can figure out how to avoid something like that.
Right.
I mean, who fucking knows?
Yeah. Who knows?
But I mean, same thing talking about like world ending cataclysms. They keep talking about the magnetic pole shifts,
Mhm.
and that if the poles shifts, we're in the shit.
Yeah, we're super in the shit.
We're absolutely in the shit. It's just weird shit like that you just never fucking know.
Yeah, and I'm not a fucking scientist, so I
No.
don't know if they're
Well, and the
blowing
scientists
smoke up
don't
our
even,
ass or what.
yeah, they don't even fucking know.
No, I don't think they know at all.
And at the end of the day, if something happens, you can't worry about shit you have no control over. Because let me tell you what, if we're getting blasted by a fucking asteroid or the poles are shifting,
Mhm.
bend over and kiss your ass goodbye.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Because
Well,
what are you gonna do?
well, and again, would our government even tell us?
No, I don't think so.
I mean, what kind of,
Because
it
it
would
would
be
just be
pure
chaos.
pandemonium.
Yeah, it would just be chaos.
Yep.
So it'd be like, man, what's that giant fucking flaming ball next to the sun? I don't know.
No, it's
Don't worry
weird.
about it. Yeah, it'll be fine.
And they've known about it for years.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
No big deal.
It's crazy though.
It's
Crazy to think about, because also it was probably the late 90s. Excuse me, they had two movies come out about meteor impacts. One was Deep Impact,
yeah.
and the other one was Armageddon.
Oh yeah.
It was the same shit, and they came out the same summer. And just looking at that, it's like, this is fucking crazy
Yeah, that is
shit.
crazy.
Crazy shit. Just thinking about, like, I can't even imagine. What would you do? How would you react?
I don't know.
I can tell you right now, I don't have enough guns to protect myself and my family. I need more.
Yeah, probably. I don't even know what I would do. People would probably still kill each other. Like if you're all gonna die, would you still kill each other? But yeah, probably.
Probably.
People
Just
are
because
fucking
there's some
crazy.
people that are broken
Yeah.
out there.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to go out and start murking people.
No.
But I'm going to protect myself.
Yeah, but I'm probably gonna hang out at home.
Right. Well,
Probably not gonna go anywhere.
And again, the doomsday preppers, everybody makes fun of them. But like, let's assume that something like that gets announced. There's an extinction level event, and Ellie is on its way. People aren't going to just be polite and show up to the local supermarket and fill their carts and, oh, excuse me, and da da da. Something like that happens immediately. Everything's getting looted
Within
minutes.
I'd say, minutes. And it's going to be the people that are closest to the stores. They're going to get there first.
Yep.
And then it's going to be pure pandemonium in the parking lot of every single grocery store.
Yep.
And gas station.
And then everything breaks down. And there goes our fresh water.
I'd say all of that happens in the first 24 hours.
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
The first 24 hours is like, okay, if you can survive that and you have some food and you have some stuff to protect yourself, now you just got to hunker down.
Yep. But even then, it's still fucking crazy.
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy. And I don't know that, I'm not going to say all women, but I will say that the majority of men have had that thought, had that conversation in their head.
Absolutely.
Zombie apocalypse, meteors hitting, could be fucking anything.
I have a very similar thought whenever I go into a restaurant. Like, I want to know where the exit is. I want to see the people that are walking in. I don't know.
Back to a wall.
Yeah, I don't know why. It's just like a natural instinct. It's like I want to see what's going on. I want to see if something's coming
Right.
at me. I want to,
Right.
know where I got to go and what I got to do if some shit goes down.
Right.
It's not like like that all goes. It's like a pretty regular
It's
thing.
instinctual.
Yeah, it's like, all right, I'm gonna go in. Like,
Which
I don't
is
expect
weird.
anything to happen.
Which is weird, though.
Very weird.
I mean, it's something that's like hardwired in our DNA.
Yeah,
Just to be aware.
That hunter-gatherer
Yep.
type of instinct, And I think that's like ingrained in men.
Yeah.
I really do.
I totally agree. It doesn't make any sense.
No.
But
it's like protection,
Yeah.
yourself, your family, like,
Yep.
all the people around you, whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. It's interesting to see those types of situations, how we've instinctually evolved.
Yeah, for sure.
You just know that that's the way you want to do things.
Yeah. Yeah, you're just like, well.
It's hard to put your finger on, but that's how we've evolved.
Yeah, come at me, bro.
Come at me, bro. Yeah, you're going to punch me in the face, not in the back of the head.
At 100%. I'm going to see you coming.
I'm a lover, not a fighter, baby.
Same.
I'm going to run my mouth. But I'll give you a hug.
Yeah.
We can still be friends.
Yeah.
But I'm going to call you on your bullshit. Please don't punch me.
Please don't punch me.
Please don't punch me. This is how I make all my money. So, all right. You got anything else in closing?
No, that's it. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
Good relax. Good way
Happy Independence Day.
Yes, happy
to
Independence
all of our
Day.
listeners. Thank you for listening.
Yep.
Gosh, I'm excited.
Me too.
Not that I want to get rid of the family. I love my family.
Yeah.
But it'll be nice if they're gone.
Yeah.
I'm coming to your place.
Come hang out, baby.
Yep.
Let's eat some food and watch some baseball.
I can listen to your kids argue, not mine.
Yeah.
And then I can chortle when you have to be like, hey, shut the fuck up.
It's way better hearing other people's kids argue.
Always.
Yeah. Doesn't bug me at all. I laugh.
And it was funny. I went in to use the bathroom at your place and I come out and Taylor and Mikey are fucking jawing at each other. And Paige's like, will you two shut up as we're walking out? I'm like, I love this.
I know.
To that point, it's like, I love hearing other kids argue. And I told Paige on the way out, I'm like, well, it's nice to see that it doesn't really end even as you get older. She's like, oh, they're the worst. I'm like, good on you, Paige.
They are.
You got to be the older one. You got to play referee.
Yep. She does all the time.
I get it.
And sometimes she just stops. She's like, I'm not doing this with you.
Will you guys fucking shut up?
Nope.
Go to your rooms.
Get the hell out of here. Calling Dad.
Yeah. Yep. That makes perfect sense. All right, man. Well, for this week's episode of Incredibly Uncensored, I am the flip-flop agent, Johnny B. Good, joined by my man,
Mikey B.
And we will see you guys next week. Maybe we'll record on Friday. Maybe we'll do video at your place.
Ooh,
we could record from the pool deck.
That'd be cool.
I could probably make that happen. That would be a fucking blast.
Yeah, let's think about that. That's a good idea.
Now we got a thing.
Yep.
Now we got a thing. Like where your head's at. All right, we will see you guys next week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.